Hi, so today we're going to be doing kind of like a fun video, I think. Yeah, so we're going to be talking about if my entire makeup collection disappeared, what products would I run to go repurchase? And I picked 5, and I picked these strategically because I think that I could create like a full face with these products. You know what I mean? So before we get into it, make sure you're subscribed before you leave, and you can give this video a thumbs up. It helps me out. And then you can follow me on my makeup related Instagram. All that stuff is always down below. Let's just dive right in. So my first product is the Pixi Rose Ceramide Cream. And I think all these products you've probably heard me talk about, but I'm creating an entire video about them. The Rose Ceramide Cream by Pixi. This is my second tube. I'm pretty much done with it. I'm going to continue to repurchase it. It's $24. It's sold at Target. It's not the cheapest thing, but you know, you get your 5% with your Target Red card, so it's not the end of the world. But this stuff is so good. It does make your skin a little bit, your skin a little bit glowy. It gives a nice base for makeup. I don't really find that this makes me like super oily or anything throughout the day. I just feel hydrated, plump, like all that stuff. So this is so good. I highly recommend trying out their Rose line. I also love their Rose Cream Cleanser. That is a favorite, but for this challenge, moisturizer would be the Rose Ceramide Cream, definitely. For primer, now primer is something I realistically, I don't know if I would go out and buy a primer if like all my makeup disappeared. But if I had the option and I was like, okay, what are the things I need to restock on? This would be it. So Pores No More by Dr. Brandt, the Pore Refining Primer. This is like amazing. It minimizes the appearance of pores. It fills them in. For me, it doesn't break me out, but it might. Pore filling primers tend to break some people out, so I just be careful. But this is really expensive as well. It's like, I think this size is $45. Their smaller size, I believe, is like $22. But you get an entire fluid ounce. It has a pump. Yeah, it's just amazing. If you have problems with pores, try this out. Go get a sample from Sephora. I cannot highly recommend this enough. For foundation, I think, now this, I was between 2 foundations. And I'll tell you the other one in a second. But the Peach Perfect by Too Faced, this is like a summer favorite for me. This is the shade Nude, and it is too dark for me when I'm not self-tan. I'll do a little swatch comparison. But when I'm self-tan, this is a beautiful, beautiful shade. The formula is perfect. It just glides over the skin. It creates no like dryness. It creates no fine lines. Like, my skin looks beautiful all day. It lasts forever. I just really, really love this foundation. I know people have like a weird thing about the scent. The scent doesn't bother me at all. I don't feel like it is like truly scented that much, but it's supposed to be photo friendly. It's oil free. It's supposed to last for 14 hours. I agree with that stuff. I think this is a great foundation, and I highly, highly recommend you trying it out if you haven't already. For powder, I've talked about this a lot. This is my second it's my second jar of the Velvetizer by Decay. This is a mix-in medium, so you're supposed to use it with your foundations to make them more matte. I, however, use it as a setting powder. It's the finest powder I've ever experienced. It feels like velvet, like when you touch it, it feels like velvet. Just creates such a nice like cast. Not like a white cast, but like a cast over your face. Your makeup is set. It feels smooth. It's like it's not going anywhere. You know what I mean? So I really, really do like this. I like it in foundations too, like as the mix-in medium as it's meant to be. But I just use this as a setting powder, and I really, really like it. Now my final product. I didn't like necessarily save the best for last, but I just went in the order of the face products. So the next product I actually mentioned on my Instagram story today, but this video is not going to be up, or yeah, I don't know when this video is going up, so you wouldn't have seen it. But this is the CoverFX Perfector Face Palette, and this is the light medium shade. Now, I like every single shade in this palette for its own reason. So I'll do some swatches for you. But the highlighters are so pretty. I don't know if they carry these highlighters individually. The one shade, I mean, they do look a little bit dark actually when I swatch them. But I don't feel that way when I'm using them. Like, I just feel like they're so, like, glistening. We have the swatches here. So this first shade up here is Moonbeam. It's the brightener. The second shade is Starlight. It's a highlighter. And then there's Divine, which is another highlighter. This is the blush in the shade Sublime. And then the contour shade and Silhouette. And I use the contour as a bronzer. I use them interchangeably. And then the last powder in the pan is the finishing powder. And it's very soft, but it has a little bit of like glitter in it almost. So I'm going to see if you can like see that but I don't think you'll be able to see it. But it has like a little bit of glitter particles in it. So that one's not really my favorite to use, but I do think it's pretty. Like, I will go in, and if I feel like my makeup looks, it's kind of like the Hourglass luminous light powders. Like, it's kind of like that, where if your makeup looks a little bit maybe heavy or cakey or something, you put that on and it kind of settles everything in. That's how I use that product. But everything else is so pretty and works really well. The blush is super pigmented. The brightener it's almost like a little bit like a lesser of a highlight. So I kind of use that as a highlight. And then the highlight shades are just like beaming. And then the contour is so easy to work with, and I've never had a problem with it. And I really, really like this palette. I got it in BoxyCharm. But yeah, this one, I mean, and then for the purpose of this like challenge, you can use this on your eyes. So, you know, if you had to pick up 5 products, you were in, you know, Sephora, you can pick up this one product and you can do your eyes. You don't have any makeup brushes, but but yeah, so those are my top faves right now. Like 5 years ago, this would have been a very different result. It would have been like all Bare Minerals stuff, Tarte eyeshadows. But yeah, so thank you so much for watching. I hope that was enjoyable, and let me know your top 5. What would you run out and buy if you lost everything? God forbid, you know, God forbid. But if you lost everything, what's the first 5 things in your collection that you think you would run out and buy? Oh, I forgot to mention the other foundation I was thinking about picking. So I was thinking about picking the Catrice HD Liquid Coverage Foundation. This has been like one of my favorite foundations to use lately, but the past 2 days it's been oxidizing on me and like almost going orange. So I don't know what's going on with that. So I need to experiment with a different shade, but yeah, so this is a great foundation. Highly recommend. But yeah, so that concludes this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!